DNA, the stuff of life, the genetic code that literally determines what we are. Except, that's not the complete story. For hundreds of years, there has been a debate between nature and nurture on which of these plays a bigger role in making us who we are. Those who argue nature say that we are born who we are from the very beginning, and there's little we can do to shape that. Nurture arguments state that it is our experiences and how we are raised that shape who we become. However, the discovery of DNA seems to be a decisive piece of evidence in favor of the nature argument. DNA codes for the proteins that determine our cells' properties. Since we are all made out of cells, this is logically followed by the conclusion that DNA is what determines what we are. But there are still several holes in the whole DNA decides everything picture. For example, how do you explain identical twins who have the exact same DNA yet can appear to be different? Another thing, every cell in your body contains more or less the same genetic info within them. So how is it that our different cells are so vastly different? There is the decided difference between our brain cells, our eye cells, and our muscle cells. The answer we seek lies in the relatively new field of epigenetics. In order to understand epigenetics, we must first understand DNA, which is composed of 4 nucleotide bases that are arranged in a double helix with an order that stores information. Our genome, however, contains 3 billion base pairs of nucleotides. These 3 billion bases are contained within every single one of our microscopic cells. Each cell contains enough DNA that, if it was all stretched out, it would reach 2 meters long. The point is, our DNA in our cells must be compacted in order to fit. On one of the lowest levels of organization, strands of DNA are wound upon associated proteins called histones in order to stabilize them. This DNA is normally wound tightly, preventing any reading of the information it contains. Cells, however, can do something called histone acetylation. This is when an acetyl group is added to the protein DNA complex, acting to loosen it up, allowing for the reading of the associated DNA. On the other hand, on the level of the DNA itself, DNA methylation can be used for regulation. This is when methyl groups are added to the strands themselves, which prevent reading by physically blocking the enzyme needed for the process. These two methods of restriction and loosening can be used in tandem to control which parts of the genome are expressed at which times. This allows for the specialization of tissues that make you an actual human with body parts, not just the massive cells stuck to each other. So, you might be asking yourself, why is this relevant to me? It's all fine and dandy that these things are happening inside of me, but there isn't much I can do about them. But epigenetics are important. Epigenetic control has an impact on every facet of our lives. Since it is a way for our bodies to change according to our environment, it is very much dependent on the choices that we make in our daily lives. It has been linked to various diseases, most notably cancer, but also to other key parts of our lives, like learning. And yes, epigenetic regulation is heritable. This means that whatever choices and experiences you have in your life will not only affect you, but your offspring and your offspring's offspring's lives as well. So, act smart, or they might be feeling it for generations to come.